Hi, I'm Bill Lang. Any established business owner will tell you that cash is king. No matter how good your idea or how profitable your business, if you run out of cash, you'll soon wind up in trouble. If you can't pay suppliers or wages, you'll have nothing to sell and you'll struggle to survive. Businesses need positive cash flow, meaning the amount of money coming into your bank account each month covers or surpasses the amount of money going out. Cash flow must be monitored at every stage of business growth. Obviously, if your business is going through cash flow difficulties, you need to keep a very close eye on your finances. Now let's hear from a NAB Business Banker who will explain why cash flow forecasting is crucial for all businesses and show you how to create your own cash flow forecast.
Often, if you sell something, it can take a while for the cash to come in. You pay the supplier for the stock you've got, but it can take a long time before you collect the cash. A cash flow forecaster simply helps the customer understand those cycles and when funding may or may not be needed. It's critical for every business. Whether your business is booming or not, a cash flow forecast is absolutely vital. A cash flow forecast helps a business in many different ways. First of all, it does help the customers understand when the troughs of the cash cycle. So when does cash go out? When is cash collected? And what impact does that have on their bank balance? It helps them understand all the expenses that they have in a business, and that in turn can lead them to cut unnecessary expenses out when they see it on paper. It helps them understand what sales they have and when it's seasonal or otherwise. And if it's seasonal, what impact does that have on their bottom line? It really helps them understand their business to a great degree, and it certainly helps the bank understand their business so that they can provide the right funding at the right time for their businesses to succeed.
A basic cash flow forecast is easier to create than you think. It only takes an hour or two to set up and a few minutes each week to keep updated. Cash flow forecasts are generally created in a spreadsheet program such as Excel. The business action plan for this episode contains a sample cash flow forecaster that you can download and use to create your own forecast. Now let's hear from a NAB Business Banker again, who will take you through the steps to create a cash flow forecast.
The steps to create a cash flow forecast can be broken into 4 areas. The first thing you need to do is understand your expenses. Now these are your cash expenses. It's not things like depreciation, it's the cash that moves in and out of your bank statement. So your bank statement is a great place to go just to see what regular expenses that you have. The second thing is to enter this into your cash flow forecast. So look at your expenses, enter them into the cash flow forecast over the next 11-12 months. When do they fall due? And just put them under January, February, March, April. You might have to allow for some seasonal differences. If you have more power consumption in the winter months, then your power obviously goes up over those months. So you enter it in. The third step is to understand your revenue. So when do your sales happen? When's the revenue collected? And again, enter that into the cash flow forecast over the 11 and 12 months. And finally, go to your bank statement again and put your opening bank balance in. And then what you'll see is the difference that the impact has for when you collect your cash to when you spend your cash and what happens to your bank account, which again will help you understand what short-term or longer-term funding you might need from the bank.
The forecaster will show whether you have a negative or positive cash flow each month and how that will affect your bank account. Set aside a regular time, ideally every week, otherwise once a month, to enter every single dollar in and out. Do it at the same time each week and it will soon become a good habit. The information you'll get from your forecaster will be invaluable in running your business. Download the business action plan for this episode to learn more about overcoming cash flow problems and using the cash flow improvement tool. Additional information on how to use cash flow forecasts is available at nab.com.au.